Perfect. Welcome, everyone. This is the 3 to 4 star group call. We're super excited to have an awesome special guest today. We have Haylee Sherwood. Haylee Sherwood's a 5-star elite coach and has just been absolutely crushing her business. Last year, this year, well, since she started, she's been crushing it. But yeah, so Haylee, why don't you kind of just get us started a little bit? Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started, where you're at today, and then we'll jump into some questions.
Sure. Sorry you're feeling so bad, Sydney. I hate that. But thank you so much for having me on this call. I'm so excited to be here. Feel super unqualified, but I will share with you guys regardless. So I have been a coach for 4 years now. I first got introduced to Beachbody before that, though. I was an infomercial junkie, and I did Slim and Six before I got married. Did y'all even know that was a Beachbody program? And then I did P90X as I was finishing physical therapy school and got amazing results with that. It was a pirated copy. I had no idea what Shakeology was, no idea what coaches were. Although I wish I could have started back then, because I was already a walking advocate for the program, because I came back to graduation and people were like, Haylee, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm working out at home, you know. And then fast forward to April of 2015, I had 2 little girls under 2. My youngest was 7 weeks old, and I was just like in, that postpartum, just like blur. And didn't recognize my body. I had, 2 babies in 21 months. Like, there was nothing like going back into place how it was supposed to be. I remember crying in my closet, getting ready for church on Sundays, because that was like the only day of the week that I would put on regular clothes. And I just felt really uncomfortable in my skin, but I also felt really lost. Here I was with these 2 gorgeous babies, and all I wanted to do was sleep. I counted down the minutes to nap time. I just waited for my husband to come home so that I could like pass off the baby and like go just like veg out on the couch, even though that's all I had been doing. And I just didn't feel like me. I had P90X3 in my closet that I had bought before I found out I was pregnant, and dusted it off and did like 2 days of it and quit, like I always had. And my coach had a sneak peek into coaching, and one night I was up nursing and scrolled by it, and I was like, what is this? Like, here she is, she's super cute, has 2 kids, another one on the way, and she's making money to work out at home. I really need to work out. I really need to eat better. I would like to make money at home. So I filled out the application to be in her sneak peek. And by the second day, I remember messaging her and being like, okay, I really want Shakeology and I want to get a discount on it. Is there any way I can do that without being a coach? And she was like, well, no, So we talked through it. And anyway, I signed up that night, excited for the discount, excited about doing something for me again. And I remember kind of like hesitantly telling Brock that I was doing this. I told him, I was learning about this business, and I said, so I signed up to be a coach because you get a discount. I was like, but don't worry, like, I'm not going to do anything with it, and we'll cancel after this first month. And he was like, why? He was like, I think you'd be really good at this. And I was like, sorry, what? And he was like, yeah, I think you'd be good. And so it took like that spark of belief from him to like start just a little spark in me. And when you have a new baby and you are like successfully nursing, it's usually there are so many times of the day that you're sitting there holding the baby, scrolling your phone. So I found myself just like diving into the office and into the team page, and I got more and more interested. And literally by the next day, I was like, Brock, I think you need to be a coach too. Supposedly that's what we're supposed to do. And so he was like, sure, whatever we need to do. And I was enrolled in a couple days and built our business to diamond and 30, and ended the year at 2-star, and got to go to New Leader Conference the next year and was just like absolutely on fire and loved what I was doing. And then, there comes a time where the newborn baby, the baby that's like learning how to walk, that fear sets in a little bit, and you can become timid. And that's kind of what 2017 was for me. Had a lot more of just like second guessing, really worrying about what people were thinking about me. It was a very plateau year for my business personally, but I partnered up with a coach in my downline. She was not my personally sponsored coach at the time, but we met for the first time at Summit in Nashville. She was a 1-star and I was a 2-star, and we decided we were going to run the team together. And I'm so thankful we did that, because during 2017, she completely carried the team for me, along with Leslie and Renee, who are on here, are other amazing leaders on our team. And because we ran it together and it wasn't all on my shoulders, when I did have a year where it was just like not going the way I wanted it to, I had other girls to lean on and to support me. And whenever I like came out of my funk at the end of 2017, they were there to keep me going. And 2018 was just an incredible year. And we took our team to double elite. Both Logan and I ended elite and 5-star. And we just have such incredible momentum. I know we're going to have multiple other elite and premier coaches within our team. So anyway, that's probably way more than you wanted me to share, but that's how I got started, and a little bit about the 4-year journey so far.
So good. Oh, I love it. You seriously, like, I love when coaches share their heart a little bit. Okay, guys, you are up. What questions do you have for Haylee? Go ahead. You guys can take yourself off mute. You guys are always so quiet at the beginning. I don't get it, but I'll ask one then.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Holly.
Well, I just recently started running my team with a coach in my downline too, and so I love that you do that. Do you just have any, like, did you guys just like basically do everything 100% together and you're like one team? Or did you kind of, I guess what had that look like for you? That would be super helpful. And I'm going to mute myself because I have a toddler over there.
I totally get it, girl. Yeah. So my upline is Megan E. Woldson, and she runs her team with, like, they both have the same sponsor. So they're like sister coaches. And so they run their team together. So that is kind of all I knew when I came into this business, was that you like did it with somebody else. And I thought that was really cool. Logan Underwood, who I think spoke with you guys a couple of weeks ago, she is my success partner, and we run our businesses, our team together. She was actually sponsored by one of my best friends, who was my personally sponsored coach. They randomly knew each other on Instagram, and she had an incredible transformation and then just became this rock star coach. And when they talk about like digging down into your downline and like running with those people, even if they're not your personally sponsored coaches, that's what I did. Like, I saw something in Logan and we really connected. We're very similar. And she was able to come to the first summit I was able to go to. There was 4 of us, I think, from the team. 2 of us, just me and Logan, still here of those 4. But so we did everything together. She started out in my team page. Like, I branched off from my upline and started my own team. And then when Logan started like getting with it, and I saw her starting to like have the same vision and energy and enthusiasm, and we had the same goals and just wanted that same community feel. We talked about it at Summit that year, and I told her, I was like, I want to be partners in this. I want to run this team together. And that's just kind of how we started. And so we have several other Star Diamond leaders within our team, and we do a ton together. And I think that's huge. I don't know if that helps at all, Holly, but yeah, we do everything. We run our challenge group together. We run the team together. We do have our own personally sponsored coaches page, just because there's some things, like when we were both going for elite last year, it got a little bit confusing to the team where they were like, wait, but we already have 5 people who are diamond. And so, you know, some of those things that we would really talk to like our personally sponsored coaches about, but I rarely use that page unless there's just something I need my coaches to know about versus the whole.
Yeah, no, super helpful. I love that.
Cool.
We just started like a month ago. She's about to have a baby. I obviously just had a baby, and we were like, we just need to do this as friends. And it's just like, and we do things the same. It was like, why aren't we doing this together? And people like that, like friendship energy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's exciting.
You know? So cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I'm in Starbucks, hopefully it's not stuck. Can you talk a little bit about like motivating? I mean, I feel like it's always the magic question is how do you motivate your team?
How I motivate my team?
Yeah, I just feel like I've got like so many girls who are all talk and no action, and I just feel like I say the same things over and over, and I put them in pods, and those are dead, and it's just like I'm keeping recruiting obviously at the forefront and finding those people, but I don't know, I just love hearing what other people are doing, especially in pushing for elite and pushing trying to develop star diamonds on your team and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I feel like they just get sick of what I'm saying.
Sure. You know, I think it's something that like changes pretty frequently. Just as your business grows, as things are happening within the team. I'll say personally, like last year, the beginning of 2018, you know, the end of 2017, like I was like on this uphill swing with business. I was getting back into things. I was hitting Success Club more than 6. You guys, 2017 was rough. Like I was scraping by hitting Success Club 6. Like I didn't hit it in July of 2017. And I remember in August, I had my baby August 22nd, and like the last day of August, long story short, my husband is not a coach anymore. He can't be a coach because of his job, but he is still one of my customers. And I was like, I need you to buy a challenge pack. I need to hit Success Club. And I remember just feeling so icky about like doing that. And I told myself I was not going to put myself in that situation again. And so, you know, the end of the year, picked up with 80-Day Obsession, all of 2018, like I had high Success Club numbers, which was really, really odd for me. But I think a lot of what changed was in January, I told my husband, I was like, we're going to go for elite this year. And I had been up and down with, is pushing for elite the right thing? I really want to build for income. My organization isn't set up the way to hit elite, you know, all these kind of like limiting beliefs in my head. And so he knew that like maybe elite wasn't the smartest thing. But I told him, I said, I want to go for elite. And he was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And I said, Brock, all the things that I have to do to get us to elite is going to help us build a stronger team. Regardless if we hit the goal at the end of the year or not, like if I'm focusing on getting new coaches who want to help people, if I'm focusing on getting new people in, you know, creating that APV, if I'm focusing on helping my new coaches who do want to do something get started right away, like we're going to create a ton of momentum. And so I just dove in feet first. I've said this before, Leslie reminds me of it, but 2017 was a year of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And then my other foot's like, no, hold back, Haylee. Like you might fail at this. You might, whatever, like all those limiting beliefs. And it was freaking exhausting. And so 2018, I was like, you know what? We're going all in. And I just led from the front. I was bringing in a lot of new people. I was excited again, like to lead team calls. And I think our team just like fed off of that and fed off of the momentum of having new coaches start being in the team page, of having new coaches start rank advancing, of having, you know, just seeing, I don't know, just feeling the excitement and feeling the momentum. And so I don't have like a solid answer for you other than just making sure that you are having fun with it and that you're excited about it, because just like we talk about inviting, and like people can totally read if you're like not excited about what you're inviting to. If you're not excited to be like pouring into your team, and you're not excited to be bringing in new people to your team, that kind of, your team members are going to read off of that, and they're not going to want to invite people, and they're not going to get excited about anything. So that was the biggest thing for me. And this year it's a little bit different, just because we did, you know, we came off the high of going elite and having all these new diamonds. And, you know, now we've got coaches in our downline who, you know, Leslie just went 3-star, Renee went 3-star a while back. And it's just, you know, a little bit different, navigating a little bit differently. So pods still work for me occasionally. Like my April pod rocked. My February pod, like I haven't been in there in a while either. So it's just, you kind of gotta try it out, see what works, and if it doesn't, try something different. I don't know if that helps, but
it's nice to at least hear that's exactly what I'm doing. So it's like, I know there's no secret thought. Yeah.
Okay, so Melissa asked, can you share about how you're getting started coaches, and how you get them to go diamond?
Okay. So I was thinking about this before I hopped on the call. Last year, at this time, I was a 1-star diamond with Logan as my diamond. My second CBZ had fallen out of diamond. And 4 of my coaches that helped us get to elite were not even coaches yet. And so if you're sitting here pushing for elite, pushing for premier, whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have the people, like maybe they're coming this month or next month. But I was very vocal last year about our vision and our goal for elite, and made sure that like they knew it was a team effort. Elite had always been my goal. Even the first year I was a coach, when I signed up in April, I remember telling Megan, I was like, I want to be an elite coach. I had no idea what that meant, but like I wanted to do it. And I remember being on a call with Doug and him being like, okay, well, here's what we got to do, you know? And so, but before it had always been kind of like, I want to be elite. I want to do this. And last year was very much, I want our team to be elite, because I was tired of, besides Logan and a few select individuals, like I was tired of feeling like the only one successful. And so I made that very clear in my personally sponsored page that like, hey, our goal is elite, but we want to go elite because I'm ready for you guys to have success. I'm ready for you guys to feel the confidence that you get when you go diamond. And then we're going to work on going beyond that. We're all going to work on going premier and elite next year. And so whenever I onboarded, you guys, systems is not my forte at all. Like we're really trying to work on it. But when I onboarded these girls that did go diamond last year, most of them had been a challenger for about a month, and then they signed up as a coach. And I had a one-on-one with each of them, which is not necessarily a norm for me, but I did with them. So maybe that's a sign that I should do that. And we talked about what their goals were and talked about helping at least 3 to 5 people a month. And then as it got closer and they started building, you know, their team, and I'm like, you know what, she's going to be a diamond. She's going to be one of our diamonds. I told them, and I would like, reach out to them individually and say, hey, Bridget, you are so close to this huge goal and building this foundation for your team. You are going to be the reason we are going to be elite this year. Do you realize that you're going to have a huge impact on us hitting this goal? And then what I did was I created a pod with all of them in it. I had Logan in it, and then I had a diamond pop in my second CBC. So she was in it, and then I had y'all. I went 5-star with how many diamonds was it, Leslie? I'm trying to think. I think it was 7. And we never once popped into 6 or 7-star qualification. One would fall out and another one would pop back in, and then another one would fall out and pop back in. But I had all 7 of them in a pod, and we talked every single day about where they were, what they needed to get to diamond, what they needed to do to hit Success Club. Everybody was cheering each other on. A couple of the girls went diamond at the same time. If somebody fell out, you know, one would be like, oh, I'm going to get it back for us this week. And so it was just a really cool, like, it was really a team effort to get them to diamond and to get us to elite. And I was one, we hit it the very last week possible last year. So I don't know if that helps at all, but I think they enjoyed being able to do it together and felt like they were part of something bigger.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
So I have a little inside information for this question, but I'm still curious. So I know that you had 5 new coaches on the board last month. So I want to know, like, where those new coaches came from. Were they challengers? Were they brand new? And how you think you got them on the board? Like, what do you credit that to?
Oh, good question, Leslie. So all 5 of these coaches signed in April. And I'm actually going to give credit to Sydney because she spoke on our team call one of the weeks in April. And, you know, she shared her story about coming to Beachbody and reaching out to her one Beachbody coach friend and asking her why she never invited her. And that just really struck a chord with me. And that night, I sent out 5 invitations to these, not all 5 of these girls, but 2 of them who I had invited before. And I just kind of poured my heart out and said, you know, hey, have you ever considered doing this with me? I can't, like, you are on my heart to do this. And legit invited them to the coaching opportunity. One has triplets who are 18 months old, and she works full-time as a physical therapist. Like, there's no, like, she does not have time to do this, but I know she loves health and fitness, and I love her. And then another one was a coach with me a while back, and it just did not work out, but I still knew she would be good at it. And then the other are people I had talked to for a long time who just finally reached out, and it was the right time. And so whenever they signed on, I did send them my welcome email, which literally just welcomes them to the team. It talks about their first goal is to go find 2 people for them to do this with and sign them up with exactly what they signed up with, what Emily Favre taught us, you know, in her talk last year in the champions page. I give them the car analogy, which I think Logan shared with you guys a couple weeks ago about, you know, the key in the engine and the gas is the Success Club and hitting diamond and all that kind of stuff. And I pretty much told them, hey, your goals are to help 3 people every month, and you're going to go emerald in your first week. We're going to go diamond in 60 days, and text me what your goals are. I also attached the Emerald in 24-hour call that Rob Pearson did. And then I put them all in a pod together, and the very beginning of May, because they all signed up the last week of April. And I put them in a messenger pod, and I just told them, hey, y'all, you are my new April coaches. I'm so excited. And I want you guys to be in this together. So this is going to be our place where you guys can ask questions. We're going to cheer each other on. We've got goals to go Emerald. We've got goals to hit Success Club. And it worked really well for them because they were all people who were interested in working, though. You know what I mean? And how sometimes we have those people who sign up as discount coaches and we kind of hope that maybe they'll start working and like push them into it before they're ready. But these were all people who were ready. And so, you know, they got on the board. 3 of them went Emerald. 2 of them hit Success Club. 2 of them have already hit Success Club this month. So it's working, you know, the messenger thread. But they were all people who wanted to work. I don't know if that answers your question, Leslie. I wish every month could be like that, though. I will say I don't sign business builders every month. Like, I swear it is like that, where I'll have like 5 and they're like all wanting to work. And then I'll have like a month or 2 where it'll be mainly people who want the discount or people that I think would be good, but they're not ready for it. And then I'll have another month where it's like 4 or 5 people. And, you know, some people will actually build and some people won't. I know you guys know that. So.
Okay, so Abby asks, do you put your downline coaches in your pods or are they just your PS ones?
Good question. So in the new coach pod, it was just my PS coaches. So we had a diamond retreat. We ran it with my upline and last year. And when we had girls pushing for diamond for that, I put them in a pod together and included a couple of my downline girls who my PS coaches aren't really working anymore. And, but they are working. And so, you know, they would be in my pod. But mainly it's my PS coaches right now. But I'm trying to think. There's a handful of girls in my downline that I have in a pod or that we speak pretty frequently individually, just to make sure they're getting the support. You know, because you have those people who sign up rock stars and you're like, why are you not coaching them?
What are you doing this year? It's Renee, hi.
Hey, girl.
What are you doing this year to like ensure that your team is like hitting elite or pushing for elite and getting those numbers and, you know, recruiting and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So luckily, you know, my girls that got us to elite this year were new coaches last year. So they're still actively building. So them hitting Success Club is helping us get those points, and they're all still working. You know how you're going to have diamonds who get to diamond and then they like disappear and you're like, what the heck? But these girls are still here. So luckily I've got them to count on for Success Club points there. And as far as like newer coaches, so I will say that we have talked about, so you guys, you go hit 5-star, 6-star, 7-star, you're gonna fall out. You're gonna fall back to 2-star, 1-star, 3-star. Like, it's just gonna happen. That's how it works. So don't get super discouraged when it does happen. Right now I'm a 2-star and that's okay. But I've talked to my girls about, all right, you guys need to get your diamonds back because you're building a foundation to move beyond that. But before we can move beyond that, you've got to be a solid diamond. And so we've talked a whole lot about that. And they've all been working really hard on building their legs where they have, you know, last year, literally it was like, okay, she's got 4 coaches and she's got 4 coaches. Are they going to keep their emeralds? So now they're getting more coaches on their legs. We're starting to focus on building those emeralds. And our goal for Q3, we still have our pod going, like it hasn't ever left. Our goal for Q3 is to lock our 5-star back in for elite. The way my organization is set up. I'm actually pushing for 5-star in my second CBC. And I'm really thinking we're going to end 5-star in my second CBC this year. But because I'm not going to leave these girls hanging because they still have goals, but that's our game plan is to really focus on that this next quarter and be solid diamond. The points are falling into place just because I'm still focusing on recruiting and I'm still focusing on teaching my girls to bring people in. So I'm not worried about the points. Just got to get our new diamonds.
This has been so good. Thank you. Hold on. Hello. Okay, so I'm. This isn't working very well. One more question. Anyone else? Are we good? Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, God, thank you so much. Really good. Really good. We appreciate you guys. And everyone else, I'll see you next week. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.